I've been painting using this VHT, painting all my front suspension, firewall, engine compartment, and that's what I've done. Let y'all take a look at it. Radiator support bracket. Of course, here's the front radiator support bracket. Firewall and fender welds, and yes, the cross member top hats. Even did a little in the transmission tunnel, but I've had to do a little modification. I got to do some more plasma cutting because my transmission is hitting up there. If I can show y'all. Right here. That's where it's hitting the tunnel, and I'm hitting there. And I notched it for that, but I'm thinking when I raise it up to allow that, it's probably going to hit right here. So I'm going to plasma cut that other side and be good to go. But progress being made. Got to separate these two, and got to put the dowel pins on the block and put them in. They didn't have any, so I got some. I got to put them in, put the torque converter in. When I get ready to put the motor in, I'll put the torque converter in, rebolt everything up. Exhaust intake manifold, I got that new one. And of course the distributor, I got that. Electronic ignition, that's all in this stuff. I'll unbox that later. There's the rack and pinion. And my little Flame River joint, and got to do a little modification with this this setup right here to make it go on, which y'all saw in the last video, steering column, but you didn't see it. There it is. That baby's chrome all the way down. I'm not sure how that's going to go, but the original won't work. And man, other than that, this has been some good paint. Thought about doing the oh, forgot that other stuff. Anyway, pretty good stuff. I did the rear end with it. Turned out really great. So I figured I'd do the engine compartment, front suspension, and I think I'm done with that. Which is the instructions to the boxing plates, cross member. I got all this from Gearheads on eBay, and shipped pretty good. And they said it ships in about 6 boxes, rotors, rack and pinion. Of course, you saw that it rack and pinion box that was separate. It also came with some stainless steel brake lines, the control arms right there. They came with some other stuff, and oh yeah, they got springs. Here's the springs. They came in another box, so they're pretty accurate. About 6 boxes. They all showed up within a day of each other. So once they came in, it was time to get busy. So I recommend it. Gearhead's got some pretty good product. They give you some instructions, pretty much getting you your center line and where you should measure for your center line, which was 24. I think it was 24 and a quarter from your front from your front, frame rail, which is on the other side of that radiator support. That was good. I told you, make sure you notch out for the box end plates, how to set the top hats, and make sure you cut out for your shock towers. I think there was something else on the back. I think that's it. Yeah, it's the same thing. Had a printer issue. The only thing I wish that they would have mentioned was this bar right here. It comes solid. It's a solid bar all the way across, and they don't tell you how much to cut, which this is obvious. That's obvious. But if you cut that off, then you'll have this plus that, and you don't know how much to go on each side. And the only thing I can think of is these gussets. If you use these gussets as a measure, if you put them up here and I put the leftover bar up there, then mark it right here, and what you have left will go to the front side. My neighbor had a street rod buddy, just put in one of these, so I went over to his house, took a few pictures, and see how his installation was, and it pretty much had, yeah, there you go, that much sticking out on the front. Kind of took my measurements, and I used that. But that's the only thing that they didn't tell you about when buying that product. Other than that, great product. So far, I haven't put everything together, but cross member, top hats, that wasn't too bad. Now, it's time to get some stuff bolted in. Oh yeah.